Hello, everyone, and welcome back to River City Runs Red, our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle here on Restless Barbarian Gaming. I am your storyteller, Aloysius, and I'm here with all of my lovely players this evening. It's good to be back. I know some people are stressing out.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I will have all my lovely players introduce themselves, starting out with the most stressed out of all of them currently, I think, and go counterclockwise after him.
Sounds good. Hey, I'm Bolthra. I will be playing Ephrem, who is going to be used as bait to capture a nasty elf kind of vampire thing. And I am just hoping that payback is not a bitch from last night. So, and to get that reference, please go watch Controlled Burn from last night. So,
Yeah, it was a time.
it was
to say the least.
Who's next?
You, Jen.
Me? Okay. All right, I'm Jen. I'm playing Delilah Cole, who is a Nosferatu and is very curious about information and sometimes hiding it from other Nosferatu just because that's how it's going to go.
Just because she can.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm Pluto. I'm playing as Scully, the newest hire of the team. Currently starving but having a moral predicament. So that's cool.
Yeah, they're having a good time with that one.
Yeah, it's great.
Hello, I'm T. I will be playing Yvaine Big Money Mallory, who is currently just devolving into a little bit of neuroticism, but also trying to make power play. So we'll see how that goes with everything happening currently. I'm definitely rooting for Ephrem here, who is having a breakdown in real time.
Well, indeed. But when last we left off, Yvaine and Ephrem met up at the coterie house in order to sort of discuss Yvaine's little brainstorm in which they went to go have a meeting with the sheriff, where they seemingly settled on the plan of using Ephrem as bait in order to lure Lorcan out of wherever he may be hiding and basically jump his ass. Hopefully without Ephrem getting kidnapped again, or at the very least, if he does get kidnapped again, they'll hopefully be able to find him after the fact, before it's too late. And so currently working out the finer details of that exact plan. And while they were doing that, Scully and Merrick met up with Merrick's associate Opal and barged into an apartment that was being inhabited by a small hunter cell who seemingly were connected to revenge in some way, at least according to Opal's sources. Her sources did not say that one of them could shoot fire out of his hands, though. But after 3 of them were taken down, they did manage to capture the weakest link, shall we say, at least physically speaking, and were in the middle of taking him back to have a little chat with Baron Amelia Reyes of Ward 2. And we are going to be picking up on the same night as last time, so nobody has to do a rouse check this week. I'm sure you're all thankful for that. With how people's luck goes with those sometimes. So we will be picking up with Ephrem and Yvaine after they had left the diocese after meeting with Sheriff McCoy.
I think, was it Ephrem was giving her a ride somewhere?
Yeah, you basically gave her about 60 seconds to say her piece to
That's right.
To the sheriff before you were going to just leave her there, and she cut it close by about 5 seconds.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's true.
Ephrem is still kind of thinking about what some of the questions he had asked about if they could use Oblivion to potentially try to track this guy, if there's some kind of way to go through it. But Ephrem doesn't know enough about that kind of stuff. I mean, he was still confused on the whole Fae thing. So he's probably maybe kind of bounces that question off Yvaine first. Like, you know, how is that something that can work, or am I just like out of my league here with this this thing is?
I mean, I'm not too positive about Oblivion myself, but a thought that I had was he had mentioned that it was a little bit easier to do like the little shadow soldiers or whatever. What if he made one of those and then you just like had it on you somewhere? Would he be able to track the shadow soldier?
Yeah, because we talked about having the Tremere create some kind of magic gem or something to
a little bloodstone GPS tracker.
Yeah. Is
but
this...
it's kind of annoying to have to keep owing people things.
Yeah. I'd really rather not owe the Tremere anything else.
I mean, it would be fine if literally anyone else was offering to be the ones to owe them something, but it seems like it's always left to us, the least experienced. Crazy.
and they love people like us.
Easily expendable.
So if I try to use this shadow thing, I mean, what is that doing? Is that like calling into the shadows, going like, "Hey, asshole, I'm here"? I mean, he's and who knows what would answer?
I don't know if you yourself. Do you mean like you using Oblivion?
Well, no, they were talking about the shadow thing on me or something to help. What, him find me, or?
I think that maybe essentially that with the shadow soldier, it sounded like the sheriff can kind of get information through them. Like I think like it feeds back to him or something. So I don't even know that you would really have to do much of anything unless it was like we were unable to tell where you were, but you knew where you were and could give us the rundown. But I feel like that's more of the worst case scenario.
Question, because Ephrem has seen this guy twice. Is that correct?
Technically that is true. But seemingly you have no recollection of the first time you met, because according to him, he sort of wiped your memory of that encounter.
Okay. Because what I was hoping for was there's some kind of event or like trigger or something that he could track back to say, almost kind of like, I had a headache when this happened, as a way to go, oh, I feel the headache coming on. But I don't think there's anything that Ephrem remembers, or because I know the other time, like outside the club, like he just like went through a door and like ended up somewhere else or something. He stepped in an alley and then was like somewhere else.
Yeah. You from what you can remember of that encounter, you were by the club and sort of like walking by an alley when he stumbled upon you, and you tried to get away from him.
Okay.
And then seemingly you fell through your own shadow and ended up in his clutches. And then somehow he was able to sort of very quickly move you to another location.
Okay. So avoiding all light isn't going to really work. Trying to avoid all shadows. He's actually just thinking this to himself. He's not probably saying this to Yvaine.
I mean, you're a good actor, aren't you?
He's like, acting? He's like,
Oh, you're really good at talking. Acting's just another step.
well,
past
yeah.
that.
He's going to shrug his head. Well, yeah, I guess I am. It just comes natural. So.
Yeah. I feel like maybe one of the routes we could take to draw this Lorcan out is we need to make it seem like you're alone in Ward 2, but believably so. It can't read like a trap. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And he
perhaps kind of like, I don't know, maybe making it seem as though because you're not getting help from anyone with this situation, or maybe you could even act like you don't feel that you can trust anyone to receive help from them, that you're taking matters into your own hands because the Camarilla doesn't want to get involved in what's going on in Ward 2. So making it seem like you're kind of going out on your own, so to say, I feel like that's pretty believable. If he feels like you're going it alone, he may be more willing to, I guess, show his hand. And I have to assume he doesn't know that he has angered the prince. So why would he think that the Camarilla would, I guess, devote any force to trying to hunt him down? Because this is an anarch problem.
The player is wondering, is there something we have to do first to make sure that I'm like covered before I go do this? I think we talked about that.
Yes. Sheriff McCoy said that he would talk about getting sort of like a ghoul squad together to sort of like scout potential locations during daylight hours, while all activity would be at a bare minimum, and then sort of using the Lorcan's seemingly like modus operandi, or is sort of trying to get into his headspace, sort of narrow down potential locations where finding him might be easiest. He also mentioned that in case you do potentially end up getting nabbed again, potentially having either a Tremere or just someone else proficient in blood sorcery create a bloodstone to keep on your person, so they would be able to track your location.
And he'll kind of just, when they get to a stoplight, he'll just kind of glance over at Yvaine and says, "I like that idea, but yeah, we gotta prepare. We gotta prepare first before I go wandering in Ward 2."
And I kind of have an idea for the Ward 2, I guess, idea as well. You could head there under the pretext of calling either Delilah or myself, because I have to imagine perhaps that this Lorcan has seen us around you before. It may even know that we're your coterie members, but maybe under the pretext of calling us there to say, like, no one else is willing to help, but we are a coterie, like, is there anything you can do? And we can stage it as like, sorry, if the Camarilla stance is that we're not going to, like, that they don't want to do anything, we can't risk angering the prince or the primogen by acting outside of that. We could stage something and then make it seem that you are very much alone.
I don't know if we need to add that part on. I think, and he'll just kind of smile and just say, because I am pretty capable of things. So, I mean, I don't know if I would.
Look forward to it.
I don't know if I would need you guys. So.
Well, we're there as a resource if you do.
All right. Yeah. So he's
She's getting better at dealing with Ephrem.
Oh yeah. She's learned how to play him like a fiddle. I mean, he's just appeal to his ego.
Yeah, they just gotta stroke his ego a little bit, and he just folds.
Yeah. But he's starting to learn how crafty she is. So it's taking a little time. So I think that sounds fair. That'd be kind of a good plan, but we got to get all the other pieces in place first before.
I'm still going to look into the cold iron thing a bit as well, because I think I would feel better if we were able to provide you with something for protection as well.
Okay.
She's again, his ego. Yeah, we want you to be safe.
That's all about him. So, so I guess he's probably dropping her off at the coterie house, I would imagine. Unless she needs to go somewhere else.
Well,
and he's not a goddamn Uber, so.
Yeah, that's true. She's gonna go to the coterie house, I think.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good. So, and from you drop Yvaine off
As
at
a
the
rolling
coterie
stop
house.
opens the door.
Yeah, barrel rolls out.
Oh my.
It's a little bit of superficial damage. It's okay.
Yeah, just like rolls a little bit and then just goes into a sprint.
And then she'll just kind of look back and say, "Take care." Or she'll close the door.
You too. I don't imagine he's probably going to do any. How early is it, or late is it, rather?
I'd say it's a little after midnight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So still plenty of night ahead of you if you want to do stuff.
I think he would maybe go to the Diablo Club to just kind of hang out for the rest of the night, but has no, plans, as it were.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can move on to somebody else.
All right. So you drive off to the Diablo Club. Yvaine, you head on into the coterie house.
Gotta go look for Delilah.
All right, Delilah, what would you be up to currently?
She's probably gone through enough of the boxes to just sift in and see what's in there, and she's going to throw away the things like the infamous jar of toenails and stuff like that.
What?
That's fair. Probably.
I don't want it.
Yeah, that's fair. Probably don't need to be hanging on to those.
I didn't
You don't know where those
that was
came
a
from.
thing.
I didn't know either. I don't think we need it here, so.
Disgusting.
I know. I don't want it in the house, so. There's probably other things I'll find that are even worse. I don't know, but, gives me something to do.
love the implication that somebody was like, instead of just throwing these away when I clip my nail.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know, but yeah.
But Yvaine's gonna kind of like open the door to downstairs and just say, Delilah,
Yeah.
are you good now? It's been a few days.
I think I'm okay. There's a lot of boxes down here, and I have no idea why people have just like abandoned all of this stuff, you know, because some of it's good. There's like books in here and cloth and all this other stuff, but the toenails is getting to me. So I'm gonna throw it out. You know?
Oh,
it's
God,
not good.
That sounds disgusting. Okay.
Yes, that's why I'm throwing it away.
Less liking the idea of coming down there, but things have developed.
Okay.
And I have a question for you. And she's like kind of slowly coming down the stairs. She was walking down the stairs, and when you said toenails, she just stopped. Stairwell.
They're not mine.
Like,
I mean, you know.
She's like, I haven't had to think about clipping my nails in like 90 years, so I don't want to think about it now.
It was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Somebody was doing it enough for her,
God.
I guess.
I don't know what happened at all, but it's good. I'm gonna throw it out. So.
So, went with Ephrem to speak with the sheriff.
Okay.
And Ephrem has agreed to go to Ward 2 to act as bait to try and draw out this Lorcan that kidnapped him.
Oh, okay.
And the sheriff, the hound, the scourge, yourself, myself, though I can't fight. I have to stress this, but I'll be there, maybe for moral support.
Okay.
Or talking. I can do that. Perhaps Merrick and Scully and anyone else, if we can get the Baron for 2 on board with us all being there, we'll essentially jump him. That
Okay.
like that. And that's the quick of it. We're gonna jump this dude. However, I spoke with the Scourge a bit, and I don't know Ephrem said not to, but like, he's not my keeper. Anyway, I spoke with the Scourge a little bit, and apparently the information he got from his old friend / acquaintance that was talking about having met one of these Magars before is that cold iron might be an effective weapon against them. However, I don't know who knows how to make cold iron, but perhaps there might be something in one of the museum exhibits around here that we could potentially use. So I am thinking about possibly stealing some.
I've done that from one of the museums. It's fine. No one caught me. I'm not kidding.
Okay, well, I was going to ask, would you potentially be interested in helping me see if it's possible for us to acquire something? I just think it would be better for Ephrem to have something just in case the initial plan doesn't work, right?
Sure, yeah. I literally stole a book out of see, Nosferatus. We have a lot of interest in like information and stuff like that, and so I met someone who was wrapped up in bandages, and I never bothered to ask why, but I think I went and got a book out of the museum and just left, and I think Ephrem was driving me back and gave the other person the book, and that was it. That's how we do things. So
I say technically that wasn't a museum, it was a bookstore, but you did break in and steal it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you by any chance have an I mean, I know that like you're more physically capable than us other 2 members of the coterie.
Right.
However, I believe you typically seem to use like your own hands to take care of business. I don't know if you use much in the way of weaponry, but do you have an idea of anyone we could potentially ask about acquiring such a thing if there's nothing in any of the museums or in a collector's? Actually, even if we could get information on someone who has some as like a collector's thing going on, we could probably still get it from them. Legally or not.
Depends, yeah, legally or not. Well, we can give it a try.
Okay. Yeah. Plus, on the off chance that this turns into a big fight, I think that having something that is potentially effective is better than just winging it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Time to look up museums in our area.
Something like that, yeah.
Museum curators in your area. I was just gonna say, did you wanna come up and do some research with me, or are you just like finishing up down here, or what?
I'm partially through the boxes. I haven't seen everything in them, which of course will drive me crazy until I find out what they are. But yeah, I can help you with whatever you're trying to do at the moment.
Also, we can probably... Was there an attic space in this place?
I don't know.
Storyteller?
We can say that there was, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we had
mean-
established it one way or the other, but we can say there was.
You
Okay.
mentioned that there were like cloths and things as well too, so I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think we ever got around to decorating or doing anything with the attic space. If you want to utilize that as like, I don't know, some kind of study and use some of the stuff up there or whatever.
It might work, yeah. That might be fine, but first I gotta see what's in the boxes. I don't want to like carry something up that's been rotting, So
Or
yeah.
more
It says the
toenails, yeah.
Nosferatu, which is also rotting. So anyway, yeah, that's what happens.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go grab my laptop, and then once you're ready to come up and join me, or if you want to do that right now, Luca, back up. Sorry. Then yeah, do a little bit of research and maybe put our brains together.
Oh, research is fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Study night.
Yay. I'll go up and see what's in the attic.
All right. Well, I guess if you're looking in the attic, make me a quick, say, wits. Well, for you, investigation wits.
Investigation wits. Okay.
Yes.
See if I can remember how to do that.
Investigation's over on the right.
Investigation is over on the right.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Sorry, I screwed this up every single time. It's true.
It's all good. All good.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Want me to roll for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Investigation wits. And one success.
Okay. Cool.
All right, one success. I'd say the various boxes up here you have sort of like a harder time going through. It looks like I'd say you managed to get sort of like through like two of them. And one of them you find stuff like various like ink bottles and paint bottles and like a few like soft drinks.
That's odd.
And one there's this one jar of what looks like this sort of like silvery metallic liquid.
That might be dangerous.
And then the other one that you pull down just looks like various pieces of clothing.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
All right. And Yvaine, while Delilah was sating her curiosity, what were you up to?
Just looking up information about Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids has 7+ museums and boasts one of the world's top 50 biggest collections at one of their museums. So she's trying to see if she can't find any place that would possibly even house what would essentially be like an artifact. I don't know. But from just like me, and I don't know if you want to have her like roll for investigating on the internet or technology or what. I just know that there's a public museum that does house artifacts. So that might be like where she is directing
Okay.
her attention here.
All right. Okay. I'll say, give me a intelligence and investigation roll.
Alright. Is she intelligent? Oh, damn. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, damn, she's smart.
Damn, her brain works? That's crazy. Couldn't be me. Alright, let me grab my little details. I need 1, 2, 3, here. One more. Nope, that's D12. That's not D10. There it is. Okay. Use you. Alright. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. I'd say you sort of like scour the museum's website, and it seems they don't have anything sort of fitting that criteria on display currently, but you do notice that they have previously shown off Pictish weaponry and artifacts in the past, so you deduce that there could, even if they're not on display now, you do
might be in storage.
They could potentially be in the archives, yes.
Okay. Which museum is this?
This is the Grand Rapids Public Museum.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
I'll say, but I will also note, because this would, I would say you would be perceptive enough to notice this. This is the same museum that Ephrem escaped from.
Oh shit.
Oh wow. Okay.
Damn it. There is the potential. You know, it would be so funny if Lorcan was actually just still there, was like, I'm gonna leave for a little bit and then come back after they're like, oh, no one's here. There is a potential for that, because that is actually pretty smart. Anyways. Okay. She is going to, since Delilah's currently up in the, brother, stop being a little brat. Oh God.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Kitty interruptions.
It's like, let me eat your dice.
No.
She's going to, since Delilah's up in the attic, she'll just kind of page Delilah, and she'll also page. We got Scully's information, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure you exchanged information. Yeah.
Okay. I wish there was like a group. I wish there was like a group page function. Is that a thing in a pager? Yeah, do it all separately.
I would say I don't think.
fuck's sake.
I would say I think you can like send like mass ones out, but it's like a one message thing. It's not like everyone can do like flood and like everybody gets the message or anything like that. It's just like.
I love how we were all typing back so fast back when you're like, okay, number,
Yeah, just-
you know.
Yeah, that was
done.
the thing. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Then she will. Yeah, I think she's just gonna kind of contact everyone involved in this kind of immediately. as in like Delilah, she'll, obviously keep Ephrem up to date with what she's thinking of doing as well. Merrick, Scully would say, so, the Grand Rapids Public Museum. Interestingly enough, there may potentially be cold iron there if there was to be some anywhere in this city. Anybody up for a little trip? After hours?
There likely will not be a reply from Scully until
Yes.
later.
Scully is going through it.
Yeah.
Scully's going through it and also going to. My brain is autofilling court, so I'm just saying court.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what she'll just send that out. Other than that, she's just gonna kind of try and just kind of research into the what some of the artifacts, the Pictish artifacts were on display, to see if she can get a little bit more information until she gets some responses.
Okie doke. Well, while you are doing that, we will cut over to Scully. So you are in Merrick's car with Opal, and driving off to meet with Baron Reyes, and Opal is sort of just pressing her hand against her burnt flesh, just gritting her teeth in pain, and she just says, "We're almost there. Make it right up here." And the car turns and says, "Alright, that's the place, but drive around back." And she gestures it to what appears to be like a fashion boutique called All the Rage.
Nice.
And Merrick pulls around back and parks the car and just gets out and opens up the door for Opal. And as Opal steps out, she sort of gestures to the trunk and says, "Can one of you fetch our acquaintance?" I can go grab him. And Merrick walks around and pulls the guy out. He still seems to be unconscious. So he's not putting up a fuss currently.
Scully is genuinely relieved that Merrick offered first.
Very fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
Alright. This way. And Opal starts heading towards the back door of the boutique. And she knocks on the door 3 times and then pauses and knocks on it another 3 times. And there's a momentary pause before the door opens up and you see a Hispanic woman, sort of like late 30s, early 40s, in a sort of black like pantsuit with sort of purple accents, and she's wearing sort of like studded prism heels.
Ooh.
And she has fairly short, slicked back hair and sort of like a fade style. And she just says, "Opal, you've looked better. And I see you've brought guests as well. Please come in." And she moves aside and sort of gestures for you, for the three of you to enter, and Opal sort of like hobbles her way in.
And I imagine that this is probably Scully's first time meeting her. But
Yes, I'd say this is Scully's first time meeting Amelia
like,
Reyes.
what's the kind of word? What's the impression from hearing about her? Assumedly,
Like what's the word on the street?
yeah. What's the word on the street?
Okay. Basically that she's like a boss bitch that doesn't deal with other people's shit.
Nice. Okay, awesome. I sure wish I wasn't going through compulsion right now.
And as you walk in, and then Merrick walks in behind you carrying the unconscious hunter. She says, "Merrick, it has been some time. Good to see you again. You look no worse for wear." And he says, "Baron Reyes, good to see you as well." And he sort of walks in, and as you walk in, it sort of seems like the sort of like the, you know, behind the scenes of the boutique proper, there's like various like mannequins with various pieces of clothing on it to sort of model them off, and there's a couple sewing machines sort of set up on the back wall with a couple different projects going. And then she turns to you and says, "I don't think we've been acquainted. Amelia Reyes, a pleasure."
I'm Scully. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well, Scully. So, who is it that you've brought in with you this evening? This is some... the one, and Opal sort of like just gripping her shoulder, and it looks like now she's sort of just like slumped down in one of the chairs that are available. And one of the hunters that's left over seemed like he was the easiest one we'd be able to deal with. I see. And Merrick, would you mind setting him down? Any of the chairs will do. And Merrick goes in, sets him down in one of the chairs, and Amelia walks behind her desk, and she opens up a drawer, and you see that she pulls out 2 sets of handcuffs, and she hands them over to Merrick and says, "Restrain him to that, will you?" And without saying anything, Merrick just takes the handcuffs and handcuffs him to the armrests. We'll see if he wakes up in a few. If not, we'll get a bit more forceful. But he looks like he could use some beauty rest. So, while we're waiting, Opal, why don't you go help yourself to a little refreshment. I think I have 2 vessels that might suit you upstairs. And she just says, I'd appreciate that. And she sort of just stands up out of the chair and sort of hobbles off. So, Scully, how did you get all roped up into this particular issue?
I think so far, since unfamiliar high up person, Scully's been kind of trying to chill near the, like, not super close to the door, but like, little bit of digging, like what are 2 of her nails into her palm, considering the fact that someone else got offered something.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah. And yep. Oh, so go on.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. She's just gonna go ahead and say, well, started kind of looking into the things that have been happening around War 2. Merrick introduced me to some of his associates. So he's asked to come along and help.
I see. Well, I appreciate your assistance in this matter.
Stiff nod. Because, well, it's annoying to have them around for any of us, really, so.
This is true, but it still has been a predominantly Ward 2 issue as of late, so I appreciate your assistance regardless. You seem a bit tense.
How good am I at lying?
I don't know, how good are you at lying? How good is your composure and subterfuge?
Composure? That's pretty good. Subterfuge? No. Don't got that. She's going to just... This is absolutely going to be a lie kind of thing. And also, it would only be 1, right? Because still under compulsion. It's just like... Well, you know, one of them had a bit of what looked like magic. It was rather out of nowhere. Do I need to roll that? Because this is not the truth.
Yes, because, you know, what you're saying is technically true, but it's also not the root of the issue that she was asking about.
Yeah,
so I'd say if you're, like, straight up trying to lie to her about it, then I'd say, yeah, you gotta roll for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that'd be composure plus subterfuge.
Minus 2 dice from the pool, so it is just 1 dice.
Alright.
But I did get a success, so...
Okay.
Not that that means that much, because that's... But, you know.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Well, it's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. Yes, that is concerning and would likely startle anyone not suspecting it, but I have a feeling that there's more to this particular edginess you're giving off right now. Did you need something? I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible host for not offering a beverage.
Digging her nails into her palm harder.
Ah. My apologies. Do you have particular tastes? I didn't mean to offend if that's the case.
She'll just kind of sigh, go, do you have any animals. Probably deeply embarrassing in front of other vampires, but you know.
And she sort of gives like a knowing nod, and says, "Does it matter what kind?"
No.
Very well. I will return momentarily. And
Great first impression.
and she sort of like starts heading up towards the stairs and says, just keep Merrick and our new little acquaintance some company while I return.
She'll nod.
And Merrick will look over at you and say, "You hanging in there all right?"
They're not that close. Oh boy. She's take a second. Try and compose herself, probably fail, but she's fucking starving. But she's just gonna be like, hopefully in a minute.
All right. And then a few minutes later, you see her descending the stairs again, and around her neck, you see a large ball python.
That's crazy. Those things are expensive.
Well, I would prefer not to part with him. You seem as though you are in semi-dire straits.
Oh god. I feel bad. I feel bad. Scully doesn't.
And she sort of like loops her hands under it and then just drapes it around your neck.
Mm-hmm. That was so okay. But she's going to go ahead and hold it for a second, admire it because it's a ball python, and then she's gonna just go ahead and bite into it.
Okay. And with how you're feeling right now, it is absolutely delicious.
Cold and scaly and
Yep.
delicious.
Yeah, cold, scaly, and delicious. And I'd say you slake a hunger off of that, so you no longer are suffering from your hunger compulsion. But the snake, by the time you're done, is quite dead.
Yeah, no, that's to be expected. And after she's done, it's like takes a second to compose herself. Every time I'm saying that, it's because I'm like thinking, takes a deep breath. They don't need to do that.
Yeah,
So,
just reflexive.
also, I love the comment of "you're a vet tech, right?" I don't think anything can save this. I don't think anything can save this.
Yeah, just save a snake that's been completely drained of all its blood.
Yeah. But yeah, just gonna pause and say that is much better. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad to hear it.
Can I just quickly check? But insight, I suppose, because that definitely was not a great thing to do. But
Sure. You can make me a wits insight roll.
okay, because just gotta see how our lovely Baron is feeling about that. Oh no, I feel bad. Okay. That's only one success.
Not as far as you can tell, she's taken it pretty well. Like she obviously wasn't the most happy that she had to give up her snake, but she seems to be taking it as well as anybody can who just saw their pet get killed in front of them.
It's fine. Okay. Scully will, as very carefully, just like set this. I don't know what the fuck to do. What do you do with a giant dead snake? Is the question. But she'll try.
And as you're sort of like giving off the I have no idea what to do with this, she's like, just set him on the floor by my desk. I'll deal with him later.
Okay, she's gonna go ahead, do that. Just kind of like carefully and tenderly set it down. She sort of killed it, but okay.
Well, I think we've given our acquaintance more than enough time, so I think we should get to asking him what he may or may not know. And she walks over to him and says, "Do you agree?" And Merrick doesn't say anything. He sort of just, nods. And she's like, very well. And then she turns to him, and she turns to the guy sitting in the chair, and then she just backhands him across the face. And he's just like, and he immediately notices that he's handcuffed and starts trying to, like, break out of them to no avail. And Amelia says, "Shh, none of that. We have questions for you. Do you know why exactly you have been doing what you're doing?" And then he looks like he's about to say something, and she says, "Don't lie. Nothing but the truth here." And he's like, we were just taking care of blank bodies. We were just doing what people asked us to do. And she's like, what people asked you to do this? And he's like, whoever just like whoever finds us on the through the business. I don't know. I'm not one of the higher ups or anything. And then she's like, no. There's more going on. What do you know any unique individuals? Maybe not of the mortal variety. And he's like, what kind of, what are you talking about? And she's like, from what I've told, he's very tall, pale, rather distinct looking. You would know. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he sort of Amelia sort of turns to Scully and says, "Do you want a shot?"
Sure.
And she steps back and just watches.
Okay, well, that's me. That's me doing that. Scully is gonna go ahead and step up. God. And she's just gonna say, "I'm pretty sure that you two know more, right? So I'm gonna give you about 10 seconds before I start severing the tendons in your hand."
And he like immediately goes like pale as a ghost, and he's like, I swear I don't know anything. I mean, I'd remember a fucking tall guy, a pale tall guy. I'd remember that. And Amelia sort of chimes in from the back end. She's like, think carefully now. You're a couple seconds away from intact tendons or severed tendons. And he's like, I swear I don't know. When was it? When? What's the time frame? When was I supposed to meet with this guy? And
so is he saying when because he seems like confused? Does he want us to give a time frame of when he was supposed to be seeing him?
That sort of seems like the vibe that he's giving off.
So you saw a tall, pale guy, and you don't remember when?
I don't know if I saw a tall, pale guy. I mean, I feel like I'd remember that sort of thing, you know?
Do we know the information that, you know, I don't remember if Scully knows that Ephrem's memories got like yoinked.
No, I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, Ephrem. I don't think you really shared that with anybody.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay, so we've just been hearing about that, not in game. Cool. Essentially.
Like, look, I swear I don't know anything. So please, just let me go. You already killed the rest of my guys. I'm useless. I'm like I can't fight back. I can't do what they did.
Yeah, that's why you're here. My brain is so scrambled.
Yeah. He then like immediately starts blabbing for a moment, like almost incoherently, and then Amelia says, please be quiet. The real people need to have a discussion for a moment. And then, like, as she says that, you see that his mouth is moving, but no sound is coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he notices this, and like he notices that no sound is coming out, and he immediately tries to start screaming, and then it's just nothing. It's just a silent scream.
Scully is, instead of, you know, doing the tendon thing just yet, because it feels like if she fully does that, you know, she'll follow through on it in a bit once they're sure that they're not going to get anything out of him, because I don't think they were gonna get anything else out of him otherwise.
And
But she is going to go ahead. I feel like she was kind of like leaning over a bit. She's just gonna straighten up and just kind of like put her hand under his mouth and then shut it, so she's not silently screaming anymore. I'm just gonna like turn to have a conversation. It's cool. It's fine.
So, the fact is, I find it unlikely that he knows nothing. And if he believes that he knows nothing, then there might be a good chance that his memories have been tampered with.
Yeah, that might be the case. I mean, I don't exactly have anything to help with that kind of thing, so.
Yes, this is something that can be a bit difficult to deal with. Especially depending on the methodology that was used. Some tend to be very meticulous when it comes to memory altering, and some prefer just wiping the slate clean. If it was tampered with, then we could potentially still get something out of it, but if it was a clean slate, that may prove a bit more difficult.
Yeah. Just kind of thinking over. Do you know of anything that might help jog his memory? Not the just straight up pain.
Well, we could try and question him specifically about the apartment crime scene. The one that was slightly different than the first one. That could potentially trigger something. It may not give us exactly what we're looking for, but it could give us at least something to work with.
Is that the one with the prince's child?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Alright. Okay. She's gonna go ahead, let go of his mouth. So whenever Amelia is ready.
Yeah. And she sort of just like flicks her wrist and says, "Now are you ready to talk with us and tell us what we want to know?" Like, look, lady. And as he like starts talking, he's like, "Holy shit, I can talk again. Look, lady, look, I'd tell you if I knew a tall and pale guy. I would tell you. I would tell you because I really don't want to be in this situation right now. And look, okay. What do you want to know? Please give me something that I can actually answer."
So, how long have you been in this area? Let's start with that. She just gotta like have one of her claws like kind of like on the back of his hand.
A few months. Yeah, that sounds about right. We we started getting a flood of reports of like increased blank body activity a few months ago. So that's when we started moving in.
And who did you get that information from?
It's just like all over a few, a few sources here and there. You see people, posting a couple things on the internet that people sort of just write off, and but then like more legitimate sources start to coming into the business proper, and so we get sent in, to see if there's any validity to the claims, and take care of whatever we find.
Does the blank body thing line up with what we know about like what's been going on in like Kindred society?
Yeah, the sort of like thin blood, like I get culling, I guess, if we want to put it that way. Like as we know it currently, did start up a few months ago, so that does line up with the information that he's saying.
Okay. All right. So once you got here, was there anybody else you were working with? Anyone you were getting information about from where to find people? Because I'm thinking of a particularly grisly scene. Anyway, and that.
I mean, we we get information from the higher ups. I mean, there are other cells and that sort of thing, but we don't communicate with each other for, the secrecy, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, so we only ever communicate through, the higher ups and like emails and shit. But I don't know, like which one do you want to know about particularly? I don't know.
Do I have the proper apartment like number of where that happened? Because I'm not sure that Scully would know.
I don't know if I don't know if she would have like the specific like apartment number or anything like that, but I feel like you definitely would have been able to like hear enough about the crime scene in order to try and describe it a bit more.
Okay. I mean, but how many Thin Bloods were dead in there again?
There were 3 Thin Bloods, and then there was Saris, who was the prince's child, although that's not public information as to who she specifically is, but...
Yeah. Okay. Just gonna say, alright, let me ask you about a specific potential calling I might have been involved in.
Oh, okay.
There were 4 people. 3 of them pretty normal deaths. Last one was pretty much liquefied. Do you know anything about that? Could I give a like general location of where it was? Like,
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, I remember the crime scene, but if you're like asking for like who, tipped us off about it, I don't know that. At least I don't think I do. I don't remember hearing about that from... What? I don't remember. I don't remember getting that up. I mean, I remember that we did it, but I don't remember how we heard about it in the first place.
Ooh. Yeah, she's gonna do a little bit more pressure on his hand. Not really breaking skin just yet, but just think a bit harder.
What do you want me to tell you? I can't tell you what I don't remember.
Think around it then. What was leading up to it?
I remember. I remember we got the assignment. We followed through the normal method, but then I remember there was like a special request. I like they wanted, like samples or something, which isn't something that we normally do. So when the guys reported back that that's what they were doing, that I was confused, but they were like adamant that they had to do it. So I didn't question it and just assumed that maybe they heard from whoever that maybe they were keeping me out of the loop. I don't know, but then then the others came back like it was no big deal or anything.
Just gonna kind of nod and say, how exactly do you usually get your operations assigned to you? Is there anything different about this one?
I mean, normally we just get, basically like docs is sent to us through, covert email and that sort of thing. But I don't remember getting anything about that for this op. I just remember us doing the op and like having the assignment, but I don't remember us getting the assignment in the first place.
Like thinking through all of this. 'Cause, oh god. Well, we know for sure that it's just yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to gauge how much more we can get from him, because it's kind of hard without like trying to get. Okay. I think Scully is a bit out of question, so she's going to go ahead and look towards Amelia and Merrick and see if they have anything that, like, they're thinking about turning over.
Say, Merrick's kind of just looking a bit exasperated and a bit disappointed that this guy is not proving as helpful as he was hoping he would. Amelia sort of steps up and says, "These other cells, you say you don't have any contact with them, but did you get any reports of any similar cases of amnesia from any other reports?" And he's like, I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't have access to that sort of thing. And she's like, but hypothetically, one could get access to it. And he's like, I don't know, maybe, but you need, one of the, you need like one of the special laptops that we have. And she's like, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you. You've been very, well, I wouldn't say very helpful, but you've been helpful to an extent. And she then sort of like turns to Scully and Merrick and sort of like beckons both of you sort of like away from him and like over towards her desk for a moment.
Go ahead, lift her hand from his. Go ahead and come on over.
Well, I think it's obvious that we can't just let him go. That's simply out of the question. Killing him would be easy. Nice and clean and painless. He could... Based off of what he's saying, he may or may not be relatively useless to us at this point if he can't even get in touch with another cell. But we could potentially keep him around and see if that proves helpful. Thoughts? I'm open to the favoring opinion.
I mean, if you would want to keep him, then I don't see any harm in... Well, there could be some harm, but if we can get another one of those laptops, then you can put him to work. It would be helpful just in general, not just with this strange issue that's currently going on. So...
And Merrick says, I concur. He may be relatively useless to us at the moment, but if we manage to get our hands on one of those laptops, then that could potentially prove very useful for us in the future. And Amelia says, I'm glad we're all on a similar page. And she walks over to the guy and sort of just like, well, today's your lucky day, mister. And then she turns to Scully and Merrick and says, the two of you may see yourselves out. I will take care of things from here. And then she sort of just like takes the chair and then starts like dragging it towards the stairs and starts dragging it up the stairs with him still attached to it.
Awesome. Can I, considering vet tech, do I know any like really good reptile breeders around?
Sure, why not?
Can I just maybe leave a note? Maybe like, I don't know, maybe she's got like a notepad in her pocket. Probably not in the greatest state right now because she ripped a guy's arm off, but they're gonna go ahead and write out like a note to be like, no, it's not the same, but if you're looking for another snake at any point, there's a reputable breeder that's in the area. Night hours. It's by appointment. You can get it at night so you can meet the snake.
Incredible.
I don't know how feasible that is, but
we'll say, we'll hand wave it. It's fine.
We'll hand wave it because sometimes people have odd hours.
This is true.
Sometimes you work with like 12 to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and leave that note that's just like,
yeah.
Emphasis I know it's not the same. But yeah, then they can head out.
All right, and Merrick follows you out. Well, tonight has been eventful.
Yeah. Glad it wasn't one of us that got hit with the fire.
I am grateful for that, yes.
Tiara crack up over there. It's really funny.
It's like, dang, sucks to be Opal. Am I right or am I right?
Look, she's lovely. This is me saying this. She's lovely. I just met her tonight, so.
Seems like you got beat up a little bit, but nothing you shouldn't be able to heal from relatively quickly.
Yeah, nothing too bad. I'm doing alright. I didn't see anything really hit you, but.
And he sort of looks over, and sort of as he's looking himself over, he does sort of like see a knife wound in his gut that he didn't notice before. and he's like, well, I'll need a new shirt. And
I got a little bit shot, right? I don't remember where exactly.
yeah, you just got like shot in the shoulder.
Yeah. Which, you know, got any jackets in the back? Yeah, she'll just say, do we have any jackets?
And he sort of like it goes to his trunk, and he says, you have your choice of a hoodie or a polo.
These are his clothes, right?
Yeah, these are some of his clothes, yeah.
Okay, she's taking the hoodie.
Okay.
She'll return it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Did you want me to drop you off anywhere in particular?
I think it's gonna be now. I think that she would be like, you can probably just drop me back off at my place. And then she pauses and checks her pager.
Yeah, I was saying.
Finally sees.
Yes, and I was saying you finally see the message.
What exactly was in the message again? Just to refresh my memory. So I was busy.
Well, first off, I'm so glad I called that. I was like, put Scully in a polo. And he was like, I have a polo. I said that 10 seconds before you said that, and it was hilarious. But the page essentially said, like, hey, found out that the Grand Rapids Public Museum, like, recently at some point had a Pictish exhibit of artifacts. Might be able to find a little cold iron. Anyone up for an after hours visit at some point?
I think that she would say that. She's thinking a little bit, what is a Pictish?
Yes. And would Merrick have gotten this as well?
Yeah, she sent it to Merrick, Scully, Ephrem, and then Delilah, because Delilah was in the attic and she didn't feel like leaving her room to go to the attic.
Like, I know I can yell at you, but I just can't be bothered.
Right. Yeah, yells so loud on the street. Hey, you want to go rob a museum?
You want to go break into a museum after hours?
Just for some fun?
Just shout it out to the neighborhood.
Oh my gosh. Wouldn't be the first time I took things from somewhere I shouldn't have.
Right. Do it as a block party, invite the whole neighborhood too.
Yeah, why not?
So Merrick would look at that and say, well, this could potentially be interesting and or stupid.
Question for the storyteller.
It's true, but you don't have to say it.
Hey, he didn't say it to her face.
Would Ephrem know if that museum is under someone's a particular elder's protection, or is it someone's territory?
Give me an intelligence politics roll.
Okay. One success.
One success. To your knowledge, nobody has like if somebody has a claim to it, you don't know specifically who owns it, but you have heard word around Elysium that the keeper of Elysium, River Chloris, has it on a list of potential sort of like a rotating Elysium docket, so that what
that's bad.
Yes, nothing set in to your knowledge, nothing set in stone or anything like that, but word is she's been eyeing it.
As much as the player wants to go along, Ephrem is being a good Camarilla boy. Is like,
but also, is anyone really using it right now? That's the place where you got kidnapped from, that the sheriff sent the hound to. This is where Loricon was holed up.
Yeah, the player really wants to go, but Ephrem.
I was like, I'm not traumatized.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Ephraim, come on! You don't have lick boots. You're an immortal. You're an immortal being of amazing power.
I know.
An immortal being of amazing power.
Oh my.
Has delusions.
We all grovel at your feet.
I have never played like such a law-abiding character in like
Which is
all my
wild
time.
because it's Ephraim,
Yeah.
who does not seem law-abiding.
He says he'll go along.
Oh, he's gonna be a good camera anyways, so what time are we meeting?
Yeah, I was saying, and Miracle just messaged, when did you want to do this?
Yes,
What time is it right now?
At this point,
Like 1 a.m.
yeah, somewhere between 1 and 2.
What time does the sun rise?
If it's in the summer, it's like 6.
Yeah, like 6 something.
Yeah, 6 something.
I don't think it was the summer yet, right?
I don't know what month it is. I'm just
I don't know.
I'm going based on.
If I remember,
like kind of a couple months behind where.
yeah, if I remember correctly, we're in like, forgive me, fans who have been paying attention better than me. But if I remember correctly, we're in like March, April.
Yeah, that's
We got time.
Yeah.
Sun's not gonna be up till like 7:30. That's more than enough.
I
time.
think it's more like
7:30.
7. I think it's more like 7.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Whatever.
Don't,
6 hours.
Who's counting?
do ministries still take double damage from sunlight? Or is that the old edition?
No, I was saying also Yvaine has the variant Bane anyway, so
Okay.
Yay. The pose.
Okay, just like I don't know, hiding a hole in the floor.
Oh my.
like it's like everyone who
Source.
doesn't. It's like everyone who doesn't have protein level 3 start grabbing a shovel and start digging.
Let me get up there real quick. Hold on.
Uh,
All right, yeah, let's do this thing then.
Yeah.
she's, so you said Merrick said what time though?
I'm
sorry.
He said, when do you want to do this?
Okay, sorry, Delilah. What were you gonna say?
I don't remember. I don't remember anymore. Sorry.
That's the worst. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's fine. Yeah.
She's just gonna be like, I mean, now might be a good idea, but is everyone busy currently?
I think
She doesn't know people got shot and stabbed
Yeah.
and flambéed.
Well, the fallback is irrelevant in this situation.
Yes, in this particular situation, not important.
Yeah.
But
Hashtag
sorry, not sorry, Opal.
But considering Merrick was saying this might be a dumb idea, Scully is just gonna be like, I'm not sure that there is a better way to get cold iron.
And
I agree.
Ephrem writes back, is there a plan? Question mark.
And this is not in the. This is not. I love the thought of like nobody else getting these messages, but Yvaine just being bombarded with.
Yeah.
And
Bing, 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 bing.
yeah, and I would say this is not in a message, but Merrick will look to Scully and say, "Are you in a heist mood?"
She's gonna stare at the bullet wound in her shoulder. She's gonna be like, once the bullet is out, probably. Sure, why not? It can be an eventful night.
It already has. Why not add more events to it?
Sure, I'm down.
Okay.
Nobody expects 2 break-ins.
I broke out last time. I'm not going to break in.
Right.
Little bit concerned about the security cameras that were on the apartment building, probably, but that's fine.
It's all good.
Is there a plan message? Can she page Rick just like, hey, how did you get permission to search the Grand Rapids Public Museum? Can I also have it?
And
like now, today is an emergency.
And he'll just message permission from who?
Oh, so you just broke in.
And
This could take like 5 hours for all these messages to be going back and forth.
Can I get a permission slip from the sheriff?
And
just like junior deputy or something.
And Rick will just say, if anything happens, I'll cover you.
Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Prayer hand emoji. Oh, you can't send that in a page.
No, you
Just
cannot.
You can't.
Says, imagine I'm sending prayer hand emoji. And then she's gonna message back Ephrem. Rick said he'll cover for us.
We'll just write back. We got that in writing. So
Yeah. We can get that. We can get that. I'm good with technology. I can pull that from the pager, no problem.
Oh my god.
And then she'll message everyone else. God.
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be like 3 a.m. by the time you get all these messages.
It's gonna be like meet 1 block from Grand Rapids Public Museum in 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
Outside of, I don't know, the Walmart no one goes to. I don't. Okay.
I like the idea.
I don't know what's in Grand Rapids around there.
Right next to the museum, we got a super Walmart.
Walmart. Next to the Costco.
I need to look up exactly where the fuck this museum is right now.
It's between the nails place and the Chinese restaurant.
I'll say before all the Grand Rapids people get angry at us.
Exactly. What the hell are you talking about? There's no Walmart.
Like a Walmart.
Located on the bank of the Grand River in downtown Grand Rapids.
Okay.
So Sam, there's not a Walmart right across.
You know
the way.
what? Also,
Yeah, it's literally right on the river.
Okay,
272 Pearl Street.
Oh
my
alright,
God.
I get it. What's next to it? There's still gonna be stuff next to it. The
That is
Holiday Inn.
true.
Let's meet at the Holiday Inn, Grand Rapids. Or we could meet at Lax Park, which is right next to it.
Sounds like a plan.
We
Yeah,
love
hell yeah.
meeting in parks.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's the Snail Family statue. No, we'll just meet at Lax Park. Alright.
All right, Lax Park it is.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. She's gonna she's gonna go grab Delilah. Just like, hey, are you good to go? You didn't say anything.
Who said directed it?
You.
Me? I guess we're going somewhere, so I'll join you.
Yeah. Rick said he would cover for us if we want to go break into the Grand Rapids Public Museum to look for some cold iron. He doesn't know that we're looking for cold iron specifically, but he did say he'll cover for us.
Good to know.
Oh, that's
Good
crazy.
to know.
And we have it in writing, so can't be arrested by the sheriff. It's okay. He wouldn't arrest us anyway. He would probably just kill us. Anyways, let's go.
That's not a good way to pitch it, but I'll go with anyway.
That's the worst that could happen. Final death.
Don't say that.
And she chuckles out the door.
Right. And you all pile into your various vehicles, and
Not Uber.
yes, Uber, and make your way to the park. And
Is that downtown or?
yeah, it's downtown. So it's in Cam territory.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
Awesome. I love being here.
Oh yeah, you did. I think you did say that Lorcan's old hideout was kind of like, isn't that like the middle of, like near the middle of Camarilla territory is downtown?
Yeah,
great.
but it's like in a centralized location where it's easy to sort of like get to the various wards from.
Maybe we should have been looking also around, like along the river. I didn't realize that it was directly on the river. There's a thought. Anyways. Just chill in the old park waiting for everybody.
And you all sort of like stagger along. So I'd say Yvaine and Delilah, you probably get there. Actually, realistically, Ephrem would be the closest, so I'd say Ephrem would get there first, then followed by Yvaine and Delilah, and then Scully and Merrick.
Good to see you again, Ephrem.
Yeah, it's been like 3 hours.
Well, that was enough time to do a reset, right? Enough of a break from me.
If you say so.
I do. And I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Did they actually change? Did Scully and Merrick actually change?
They kind of just puts clothes over the wounds.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Scully was planning on going and maybe trying to heal up, but then, we're going on a heist, so I guess we're just doing it with a bullet in me. It's
I
fine.
think you could still do it.
You could heal. Yeah, you could heal on the way if you wanted to.
That's true. I'm just concerned about the house checks.
Just rub some dirt on it, you'll be okay.
Pour some dirt in there.
She's taught in medicine. She knows that you're supposed to put dirt in there.
Yeah.
First antibiotics. So.
Okay, so yeah, sure. We'll go ahead and see about healing some superficial damage.
All right. And remind me how much damage you had taken. Was it 2 superficial?
Yes, 2 superficial.
Okay. So yeah, you can you can just heal 1 per rouse check, and it will heal regardless of whether you succeed the rouse check or not. But
yeah,
obviously,
it's just whether or not I get hungry.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Probably a whammy. It fell off the table. Hold on.
Oh no.
Okay, a 7. Yippee!
Good.
So that's 1.
That is 1.
We'll do 1 more then. And that's a 4, so I do get hungrier, but
Okay.
we're all healed up.
Yeah,
That's
could be worse though.
not too bad, I say, knowing that I hit 2 different compulsions when I was at 2 hunger, so...
Yeah.
But what heals comes back scaly. So.
The snake is really showing itself right now.
Oh no.
Oh my god!
It is on to you.
Oh, no.
I mean, I think I've guessed their clan. So
Ooh.
I say Merrick also heals himself.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to hear that guess after session.
So, thanks for coming. Now, in terms of plan, I don't have a definitive one. I'm going to be honest. The plan is to break in, and to
That's
check
when he
the
just gives her a
archives.
dead stare, like.
Great plan.
But all right,
so-
first of all, before we get, oh no, there's no plan. All I will say is that Rick said he would cover for us, and I trust Rick
to be
enough to know that he doesn't want to get in trouble with the sheriff, probably. So he will. I don't think he would tell us to not go and do what we were gonna do.
I don't think his
Necessarily.
intentions were just bumble in with no plan.
Well, the plan is to not get caught
Oh,
and to
Jesus.
find what we're looking for.
And he just kind of
which is the
steps away, and
archives.
he's like rubbing his eyes, and he's like,
Scully is just dead on staring. Like, are you out of your mind?
The plan is already okay. First of all, backing up, there is a plan in motion of which Ephrem will be acting as bait, and that will probably be happening sooner rather than later. So therefore, if we are trying to find something that will be effective, while Ephrem is playing bait here, we have a very short amount of time to do so. So I'm sorry that I couldn't come up with a plan, but also I didn't think that everyone would be like, yeah, I can do it tonight. Sure, why not?
and we know specifically where to look and what we're looking for.
I have an idea of what we're looking for, which is
Oh,
going to be
no.
I
fictitious.
was gonna say, I feel like I've heard this speech before. I have the concept of a plan.
We're looking for Pictish artifacts. Specifically, we're looking for Pictish artifacts that could potentially be a weapon. Also, we're looking for the archives. I don't know exactly where the archives are in the
Oh.
Grand Rapids Public Museum.
It would likely
That
be in the
information is-
basement.
Right. Somewhere probably in a controlled temperature room would be my guess. Because obviously they can't just store old artifacts anywhere and risk them being damaged by changes in temperature, pressure, blah, blah, blah. blah, blah.
Insects, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the map for the Grand Rapids Public
Jesus.
Museum.
It works.
Scully does a
I
little
feel like-
googling.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like, because, like, okay, there's like a general map. Of
And
the
he'll
museum.
try to look at Scully. There's someone with a plan.
All right. You don't have to be on full-on hater hours right now. I'm trying to help you too.
What exactly are you wanting us to do?
We're looking for Pictish artifacts that may have been stored in the archives, because if there is cold iron, that would potentially be like where it would be amongst. It would be amongst those artifacts. That is my guess. This is the only thing that I was able to find to possibly point us in the direction of where to find cold iron.
We're gonna need a blacksmith, I think. Presuming we
Not
can
if-
pick up that, you know?
Not if it's an artifact that's already a weapon. I don't think it matters if it's blunt. If it's cold iron, it may still work. Nobody said we had to, like, run him through with it.
Hmm.
I can't believe I'm looking on Google Maps right now.
That's fine, yeah.
Ephrem is almost starting to get beside himself. He's like, so we're gonna walk up.
We're going to sneak in. We're going
We're
to
gonna
break
sneak in.
Mhm.
Yes.
How about we just knock on the front door when they open it? We mind control them to take us to the archives. Look at Merrick. Can you do that?
I could.
Why specifically at Mary?
Ugh.
Can you mind control all of them to do this thing?
I mean, to Ephrem, he doesn't know, the specific, vampiric terms. He just knows, that we can do that kind of thing. So,
Is there some reason why we can't simply sneak in and then mind control somebody, like a guard, once we're inside, so that we're not going through the front door and being seen by cameras at the front door?
Do you know how to disable cameras? I mean, doing the whole Mission Impossible. We're gonna we're gonna sneak up and know which wire to click and all that. I know he's being a jerk, but
Yeah.
She does not have. I don't think she has prior experience with disabling a camera. Like, her thing is not in hacking.
At this point,
So
I would say at this point, Merrick has also pulled up a map of the museum, and
Security office is on the right side.
yeah, and he says, yes, the security office appears to be on the right side of the building, opposite the river. If there would be camera controls, I feel like that would be a likely location.
if you get me in front of the computer that controls the cameras, I could potentially try and disable them. But no promises.
okay.
Could also use spray paint. Block the camera.
You know what? That's so true. I don't have spray paint, but I do have nail polish.
That's gonna take a longer
You can sit there
time to gel, you know?
Oh, you missed a spot.
Yeah, trying. Yep.
Yvaine DoorDash's spray paint from Walmart.
Yeah, that's not suspicious.
From
Ephrem,
Home Depot. What is the
says-
morning?
let's wait till tomorrow night and plan this out a little better.
We're not
shall we?
doing
Well,
anything
then why
good
don't
at all
we
right
just
now.
taste? Why don't we? She's like, oh my gosh, I sound like I'm really planning a heist. That's so funny. Why don't we take a look at
It's
the
almost like you
location?
are.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Me? Never.
Mm.
I think it would be a good idea to still use this time to take a look at the location. And also, I guess I never realized that this was right on the river. There might be a sewer entrance that we could also go through as well.
Everybody turns and looks at Delilah.
Handle that. That's my clan, you know? Doing creepy things in
Yeah.
sewers.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm not down with the crawling through the sewers. Sorry.
Mm.
I mean, we can just bubble wrap you.
Please don't.
Not you. Ephrem.
Oh, well, that's up to him.
Bubble wrap Ephrem. I hate for him to get any dirty sewer water on his shoes or anything.
Hmm.
But I think that would be a potentially good idea.
I think-
Also, oh, yes.
No, he's just giggling at this point. He's just like, please, tell me what the master plan is. Why don't we get a pirate boat and see if we can just sail by, and then we'll get a one of those telescopes, binoculars, and
yeah.
see if it. Yes,
She's
that.
gonna cross her arms and she's gonna square up with Ephrem.
Mhm.
Do you have a better plan?
Not charging in blindly tonight.
Do you have a better plan right now? Come up
Right
with one
now.
right now. Right now. This is so
Oh.
easy to come up with a plan. Come up with a plan right now.
Come back tomorrow. That's the first. part of
Okay,
the
what's
plan.
the plan after that? Now, then what? Then what?
And then get you into that office.
How?
How?
Yeah, how are you gonna get me into the office? Come up with a plan. Oh, plan maker. She
We were
bows
talking
down.
about a sewer. If there's a sewer, but maybe if we researched it first to find out if the sewer pipes do connect with this place, but by the river.
Do you think that plans on the entire sewage system and everywhere that they connect to is gonna be public information that the city allows the public to just easily access.
And he'll
Just
turn around and look
curious.
at Delilah and go, that's her clan's job.
Yeah.
Again, plan first.
That's her clan's job. Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that what those people are for?
Mostly. Nosferatu are inquisitive and
What are you gonna do
Interested
after
in
you
that
get
stuff.
the layout of the sewers that you assume that the Nosferatu will have of this exact location? Also, what are you going to give the Nosferatu for that information? Because they're not just gonna give it to you for free. So then what? Plan.
But that's her problem to figure it out.
She raises an eyebrow.
Mhm.
She said, "No, you said you planned. So easy."
I mean, we can
Yeah, see?
it's not unheard of for Nosferatu to decide to see what's going on in the sewers. So, if you need this, I can do it.
We got to use our resources.
Okay, what are you gonna do after you get information on the layout of the sewers? How then are you gonna get into the control room with the cameras? What are you gonna do about the guards? Plan. Come on.
First off, I don't think there's
It's
going to
been
be.
10 minutes.
It's been 10 minutes. Sure.
Not
I don't
you,
think there's-
Delilah, you're fine. I'm just wondering because Ephrem just seems like that making a plan is so easy. So I'm just asking him what the plan is.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's all.
What would I supposed to be looking for if I go into the sewers? Like,
I
what
don't
are you
know.
thinking?
Doors? I don't know. I don't crawl around down there to know these kind of things.
No,
I'm
it's
a people
different for
person.
Nosferatu. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Going up, knocking on the door, do the voodoo on them, get them to take us to the archives.
Go up to the front.
You want to
do
walk up to the
voodoo
door
on
and just
them,
knock on it?
put the masquerade in jeopardy. That's what that sounds like.
Well, first of all, breaking into a museum, that might be another's
Sneaking
territory.
into a museum, which also regular people do break into museums. Regular people don't go through the front door and then do voodoo on normal people
Oh my
in
god.
front of cameras.
Yeah.
the player loves this, but
Yvaine is just now giving Ephrem a hard time because
Oh, I know.
Ephrem was giving her a hard time.
oh, I know. He's like,
She's like, after dealing with the sheriff this night, this is nothing. She's being spicy right now.
And Merrick says, well, I could potentially get in from the water, but that doesn't exactly solve the camera issue. And I'm not familiar enough with the layout to know where exactly the cameras are.
What about, can I offer something? Why not go, like I said, to take a look at this place? See if we can kind of get an idea of what guards might be on duty. If we can isolate a guard that is taking a break or checking the perimeter of the museum tonight, we can potentially use them to then go and let us in through a back entrance and also divulge information of how to get to the camera room to take care of it. That would probably be a safer idea.
after you.
God.
Just open up, just after you.
Still is sitting there like she's witnessing marital issues.
Ephrem really is an ungrateful bastard.
Yeah.
But because they're doing all this for him, but the player understands that. But Ephrem is just too in his own universe. So.
I say also, I feel like all of this information that I'm looking up is definitely getting me put on a couple lists for a little bit. But...
Oh yeah,
Real
oh
life.
yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah.
no.
You're gonna be,
Oh,
you're gonna be on a watch list after this.
It's not a
Yeah.
VTM game if you don't get put on a few lists.
yeah.
Oh my.
Also,
Is-
I do want to just point out, Rick just said, "Get permission from whom?" I just broke in. So I'm just putting that out there. Apparently, it's not that freaking hard. She's
Just-
gonna start walking towards the museum because she's a little upset.
Is this something we might want to approach in the next episode?
I mean, yes, that's
I
definitely
think
what's
so,
that's definitely
yeah.
what's going to happen. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of like, it's just a matter of like whether it's going to be the same night or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think she
Ephrem
just
was
wants
just
to like
after
see
you.
if they can if they can potentially get their hands
Yeah.
on a guard
Yeah.
to get some information, because it's a little bit probably like less obvious of like something weird is happening if they accost a human guard,
Hmm.
like not on the actual, like not inside the museum, not the
Yeah.
front door.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. Let me roll for something
sure.
real quick. Okay. As you get closer, it does appear that there is someone standing outside the museum looking like they're on a smoke break.
Okay. Let me see. What is the best way to go about doing this? Now Merrick said that he might be able to like, I don't actually know because I don't voodoo on someone's mind. I don't know exactly. There's so
I
many
don't think that's
different
gonna work,
versions of
yeah.
disciplines that do something to
Yeah,
people's
yeah.
minds.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean,
gonna,
like
Right, if
Ephrem
I
could use
were
like
to-
compel to say come here, from the shadows,
Mm.
But
if we were to get that guard to come over here, away from the building, Merrick, would you be able to somehow is it a male or female guard to our knowledge?
It's a
Them?
little hard to
I
tell
don't-
from this distance, but
Okay.
they look more on the masculine
Hopefully they're
side.
bisexual. If we were able to get
there
that
you go,
guard,
thinking about what's in their pants. So
I'm a people person. Over here, would you potentially be able to do something to, I guess, compel them? What did you have in mind in terms of I might be able to do something? What exactly does that mean, so we know what, I guess, resources are available to us?
If I were able to get my hands on one of them right now, then I would be able to implant something that they wouldn't necessarily have to listen to immediately. I could add conditions to it.
Okay.
Such as, does that take us to the security office? But I could add the condition of, say, the next time you see us, or tomorrow night, or something similar.
Okay. All right. I don't know if, like you said, if you want to do this right now, because I think either or is if we're gonna go in the following night, if you
Mhm.
want to save the whatever nonsense is about to happen to lure this guard.
Mhm.
Okay, sure. Honestly, I think that seems like a good place to call it for tonight. Then,
Thank you.
Yvaine like puts on some lipstick real quick. She's just like, I'm going in.
This is incredible. Oh my god.
That was fun.
Yes, thank you. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everybody.
This is gonna be some wild hijinks in my Vampire the Masquerade, more likely than you think.
Yep.
All right, folks. Let's wrap up for tonight. Thank you again, everybody watching. Thanks to all the players. Thank you to our storyteller, and we will be back again next Friday night.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you then, everybody.